Well, turning now to former President Donald Trump's criminal trial in Manhattan. The judge held Trump in contempt of court for the 10th time yesterday for comments that he made about the jury in an interview last month. He also threatened Trump with jail time if he violates the gag order again. During witness testimony, the jury heard allegations about the Trump company reimbursing payments to suppress stories that could be embarrassing to Trump during the 2016 presidential campaign. So back with me in Studio 57 for more analysis on the trial is CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates. So, Graham, let's start with this contempt. The judge found him in contempt again for violating the gag order. He threw that $1,000 fine his way. I thought it was multiple violations, but I guess it was just one. Doesn't seem to be deterring him, though.
Yeah, well, the judge is really drawing a red line and actually kind of separating the different kinds of violations of the gag order that Trump has had. And the red line that he's making is talking about the jury, the makeup of the jury, individual jurors. He doesn't want any of it. He said specifically that he doesn't want to hear that the jurors or their families have fear of reprisal for their participation in this, because, again, they have no choice but to be involved in this. Right. And that's where he's drawing the line. He said it's an attack on the rule of law. And he said, I don't want to have to do this. He looked right at former President Trump and said, I don't want to have to do this. I'm worried about court officers and the Secret Service. Yeah. But if you push me, I will put you in jail. And that's a pretty big warning, right? It's not like the previous times he said it's an option, but he said, if this continues, this is where we're going.
Okay, we'll see if he heeds that warning. I know there's going to be more testimony today, but I actually want to ask you about something else, another case. Trump's attorneys yesterday filed a motion citing a chain of custody issue in the federal classified documents case. That's the one out of Florida. What is the team alleging, and how has Jack Smith's office responded?
Yeah, this is really interesting. There's been some argument about the order in which the different files in that case appeared in the boxes that were collected by the FBI. And that's important for the defense, right? There's a highly classified document that's on the bottom of the box is different than a highly classified document that's the first thing you see when you open the box. But the special counsel has said that there may have been some materials that were, during different examinations of the boxes, were removed, but there's two things they kind of said. The first was this may have happened when an independent arbiter demanded by Trump looked at the boxes. The other thing is that it could have happened when they were moving from place to place, but that the materials that were moved, they say, are like little index cards, some books, not really any of the classified documents. That's kind of the way they're portraying this. Okay. But the main thing is it may be yet another delay to that case.
Oh, of course, of course. Graham Cates, thank you very much.
Thank you.